Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just an elegant couple in love that loves reacting to some Elden Ring.
Feel like I'm underdressed for the occasion.
So this is our Wildcard Wednesday pick. Thanks to everyone that voted on our poll.
Thank you.
And you can check out our next Wildcard Wednesday poll right now over on our community tab section on our channel page. And yeah, vote for next week's Wildcard Wednesday. Yeah. So this is an Elden Ring movie, Children of the Scarlet Rot by Vaati. And because it's Elden Ring,
we have a drink.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
An elegant drink.
Indeed. The Tarnished Tonic.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Great lords once served the Scarlet Rot. Their bodies were colonized by fungus, and towering mushrooms served as their crowns. Odd, but there was a logic to their worship. For to rot is to die, then develop new buds and be reborn. It is a cycle of rebirth that comes to all equally. So it is that the Scarlet Rot is no mere disease. It has order. It is an outer god. And so many would serve as its vessels. Pests, scorpions, even a demigod. But there were those that would fight back, like the dancer in blue, a blind swordsman who was bestowed a flowing blade. And by fighting with the unrelenting power of water, he sealed away the Scarlet Rot. But the rot would eventually return, corrupting one of Marika's children at the very moment of her birth, setting in motion the events that would one day lead to the death of Caelid and the rotting of Aeonia. This is the epicenter of the bloom, where Malenia once fought with Radahn. With the help of the dancer in blue, she had trained to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot. But in this fight, she was pushed to the brink and was forced to sacrifice her pride in order to win. She needed to kill Radahn and send on his soul, no matter the cost, so that the lion could become Miquella's consort. But Radahn was only weakened until we came to Caelid to finish the job. When the Tarnished arrives, it's been an age since Caelid was first decimated by the Scarlet Rot, and it's the worst at the center of Caelid, where Malenia once bloomed. Here, an offshoot of Malenia's bloom rises, Millicent, a red phantom, instinctively driven, perhaps, to defend the rot.
Curved sword versus huge sword. Ooh. Nice.
Cool. Right, they aren't without skills.
Ooh.
I think the version of Millicent that we fight here is a projection of herself, and herself is currently plagued by the Scarlet Rot. This is just one of many horrors that we face in Caelid. Even the drakes have succumbed to the Scarlet Rot. The local wildlife runs rampant in unending war against Radahn's stoic warriors who stave off these rot-crazed beasts with fire. And the pale pests crawl through the land, abandoned children of the Scarlet Goddess. They possess a keen intellect and have even managed to tame the local wildlife, as has the one who lives in this shack,
just a huge head
just outside the nearby town.
Oh, a pleasure to see you. A pleasure indeed. I am Gary, a great sage. In
Gary?
my day, anyway. I'd hoped to ask a favor when one of your ilk came along. A strapping young tarnished, able to cross the scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Don't fret, I'll provide fine recompense. Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of Celia, the town you see there. Ah, then you are willing to lend a hand, are you? I need your help to heal a certain young girl.
I already chopped her head off.
Is Millicent. You will find her beyond Celia, resting at the church atop the cliff, stricken by the rotting sickness.
I guess we just killed her spirit.
The rotting sickness that afflicts Millicent has no cure. When the Earth Tree flourished, even the demigods could not stave off its effects, despite their nigh godhood. But Millicent's suffering can be ameliorated. For this, you are to find a certain needle.
Needle?
Seek the deep scarlet swamp of Aeonia outside Celia's bounds. The needle, made from unalloyed gold, is lost somewhere there.
The center of the
for a
swamp
needle
is
in a
defended
swamp.
by Commander O'Neill. It's hard to say who he once fought for, but even after his lord was fled, O'Neill continued to brandish his flag in the devastation of the rot-eaten field of battle. He was the sole veteran that remembered this battle with pride. Perhaps his ability to resist the rot can be credited to a certain unalloyed needle, for here, Commander O'Neill refuses to die, even amidst the rot. Even though he has nothing more than the dead to command, at least until you come along.
That was quick work.
Yeah.
You command no dead. You are the dead.
You found the
Is this Elden Ring's
unalloyed
Kenshi?
gold needle. As promised, I've detailed the secret of Celia right here. Go on. It's yours. Now let me have a look at the needle. Well, this is a marvel indeed. The work of a true artisan, a meticulous, bold craftsman who grasps the essence of life. Can you give me some time with this? As well made as it is, it won't be much use snapped in half, will it?
This needle was made by a demigod, by Mikola, the Unalloyed, twin brother to Melania, who was born carrying the Scarlet Rot. Melania's plight led Mikola to unalloyed gold, a substance that could resist the meddling of the outer gods. So it was that he created weaponry, prosthetic limbs, and needles that could lessen his sister's suffering, but none of them cured the sickness entirely. Indeed, Mikola's tragedy is his nascent potential, full of promise, yet never, it seems, able to see things through to the end.
I have awaited your return. The needle is repaired. Now it will forestall the rotting sickness, I'm sure. Will you give it to the girl, Millicent? I will reward
Just holding
you
it's
in
gonna
kind.
cure her? Do we have to, like, stab her with it?
Millicent rests at the church
I think we
atop
know
the
which one you
cliff
prefer.
beyond Celia, the town yonder. Tended to by the witless pests who worship her, or rather her rotting sickness, as a god. A wretched fate, indeed. The poor girl, she never wished for any of this.
Can't sneak up on me, bitch. Pale pest.
Dead pest.
Pale pest perishes.
If you are
Good job.
wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with Scarlet Rot. You ask that I stab myself with the needle
Yes!
to quell the Scarlet Rot.
Do it!
How?
In the eye.
Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind
Yeah, you don't have any options.
averting your eyes for a moment?
I like to stab in private.
Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so... I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the Scarlet Rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this. By way of thanks. A token though it is. I'm considering
Thanks?
leaving. On a journey. With the needle buried in my flesh, I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny. It's all thanks to you. My name is Millicent. I pray fate permits us meet again.
Yeah, and you're gonna try to kill us, because that's what happens in this game.
So Millicent begins to
Kill
recall
people,
what she
become friends,
calls
and they try to kill us.
destiny. These memories were lost to her when the Scarlet Rot began to ravage her flesh. But she was born to take this journey. Being a bud of the Scarlet Rot, her destination is not hers alone. And Gowry, her adoptive father, is keenly
Gary.
aware of that fact.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit. Hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps
You.
before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to. Well, never mind that. I must focus on my journey, for which I have you to thank. I must stay strong.
Oof. Weird looking skull.
Oh, you
Good skull.
noticed, did you? Indeed, Millicent did visit this hovel of a home. It seems the memories eaten away by the rotting sickness yet remain, but faintly. However, she has no need of me anymore. No, she must embark on her journey and stare her fate in the eye. I mustn't impede. As I've aged, I've found the best way to aid the young is to be forgotten. Please make certain that little Millicent goes unharmed. Like her mother, she has the stuff to be a great warrior, but commands only one arm and is yet preciously young.
Yep. Gotta make it tougher for her.
You've been a saint through and through. As thanks, I vow to impart to you my knowledge of the lost sorceries of the Selians, descendants of the Eternal.
In case you haven't felt it already, something is very off with Gowry. This sage who teaches us the secret techniques of the Pale Pests.
Cool move, I mean.
Do you find it peculiar that I would show such concern for the girl? Well, I'm the one that found her. A mere babe
Raiden's in this too. They got
in the
Raiden and
swamp
Kenji.
of Aeonia. She is one of my dear daughters. But the rotting sickness erodes one's memory. I doubt that she remembers the first thing about me. Oh, I must be getting old. I didn't always worry so much.
So,
Why are his palms
Gowry
always up?
is Millicent's foster father.
It's a
He's
good
raising
question.
her in the image of Melania, in the name of the beauty she represents. But beauty means something very unique to him.
The girl, Millicent, she is a bud. Green and undeveloped, waiting to flower into magnificence. What a wondrous day that will be. In truth, before her, I'd never seen a bud of such superior quality. She might very well outshine her sisters.
Ah, we meet again. In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The Scarlet Rot has stilled since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle. Now I'm tracing the path Melania took after unleashing the power of the Scarlet Rot during her battle with General Radahn in the Caelid Wilds. I should like to meet her. This vanished woman. I think she's in the north, in the lands that lie beyond the Erd Tree.
Melania did not make this journey alone. She was carried. After Melania's bloom, at the Battle of Aeonia, both sides were devastated. Radahn retreated to the Wailing Dunes, where the Scarlet Rot began to consume him from within. And Melania was
image.
unconscious. But Finlay, one of her surviving Cleanrot knights, began to carry Melania back to the Halig Tree, out of hostile territory. She managed the feat alone, fending off all manner of foes along the way. Melania's slumbering form was placed at the roots of the Halig Tree, and she would have nothing but the husk of her brother for company. As for Finlay, this act of unimaginable heroism seems to have ended in her death, for enshrined at the Halig Tree are her ashes. Perhaps she finally succumbed to the rot or her injuries, but she made it. As for the other surviving Cleanrot knights, some settled at the Shaded Castle, a fortification belonging to House Marai. For the head of that family, Malay Marai, venerates the Scarlet Rot and its goddess to come. The Shaded Castle is mired in a poisonous swamp. Perhaps it should come as no surprise that all of the sons of House Marai are sickly born, and that Malay Marai would be so beguiled by the goddess who was born into rot. There's a room in the castle with a portrait of Melania, and even what seems to be a collection of her old prosthetics. For it's said that when Malay Marai, Lord of the Shaded Castle, embraced this prosthesis, he claimed to feel the presence of his personal goddess. Malay's castle has been usurped, and Malay is in exile. So we take an arm from his collection and give it to the one who needs it most, just as Mikola did for Melania long ago.
Are you giving me this arm? Thank you. I am in your debt yet again.
Always thinking.
I think if the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again.
When
Good for you.
Millicent receives her new arm, we learn that she inherited her mother's swordsmanship. These arts were learned from the blind swordsman, garbed in blue. He was Melania's mentor, and he taught her how to strike like flowing water. He believed that
Water dancing.
just as still waters turn foul, stagnation leads to decay. Melania's prosthetic weapon came to symbolize many victories. So, when we report back to Gowry, we bring good news.
So, you gave Millicent a golden arm replacement. This is a wonderful development. Thank you for your kindness. Now, Millicent may fully realize her true warrior's potential, like her beautiful mother.
With a prosthetic limb, Millicent's journey can continue. Her wanderings have brought her to the Windmill Village, A town filled with dancing women who have flayed the skin of others.
Oh.
The festival is an old tradition, one old enough for the Erd Tree to tacitly tolerate its endurance.
Yeah, this looks like a horrible place.
We still don't know the specifics of their ritual, but there is a godskin presiding over it, making the implications of this place very dark.
Yeah. Flaying kind of tipped me off to that. Face flaying is never like, at Disneyland.
Well, they also look just possessed.
And like the laughing and everything. Oof. Yeah. Fighting alongside her. Ooh. What the hell? I know. I'll try to keep it going. How many is she taking on?
I don't know, but they're also very big.
Right? Ooh. Oh shit. Normally when you strike a pose like that, you deliver the killing blow. Fingers. Oh! Flames. Flames coming out of my eyes.
The Scarlet Rot represents a horrific future for the lands between. It's no wonder that many are afflicted with frenzy, tempted by the desire to burn it all away.
Ah, we meet yet again. The arm you gave me truly is a thing of wonder. It feels just like my own, even handling a sword. Perhaps it is foolish to say this to you of all people, but I am sure of my skill with the sword. Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle, should you ever have the need. It is the only way that I can express my thanks.
And so, Millicent becomes your blade, not unlike how Melania became Miquella's long ago. Our journey continues into the Forbidden Lands, where Finlay carried Melania through the mountaintops, alone.
To think we'd meet in such a place. What could your purpose possibly... No. I know well enough who you are. And what I know is good enough for me. Call upon me again, in battle, should you have the need.
We'll
I'm
definitely have any.
searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Halig tree. Indeed, I believe that is where Melania will be found. The Halig tree is hidden somewhere in these northern lands.
Whoa.
Here, at Castle Sol, Miquella tried to resurrect Godwyn, his brother, whose soul was eviscerated by destined death. In return for their prayers, it seems those at the castle were to be given access to Miquella's Halig tree, but they would never set eyes upon it, for the ritual failed.
Kill this dude.
I mean, it's we did now.
Many in the lands between find Miquella's promises alluring. I'd argue that Commander
Take a
Niel
rose.
was one such man, for he was given half of a medallion that would have opened a path to the Halig tree had he acquired the other half. In the end, Niall had nowhere to fade away to, and so refused to die. Again, until you came along.
Okay. So that was the same guy. He just
At
refused
the
to
edge
die.
of the mountaintops,
Stubborn
you
bastard.
can see it, the withered top of the halig tree.
do
Long
see the
ago,
death.
Mikola watered this tree with his very own blood, and it was here that Mikola embedded himself, cocooned at the halig tree roots, awaiting a rebirth. At the halig tree's edges, the oracles play their
there
horns
snowmen?
to
Mhm.
herald the imminent arrival of a new god
Blowing trumpets.
or age. Perhaps they foreshadow Mikola's return, or perhaps, instead, they foreshadow Melania's ascent to goddess. The rot here certainly makes that seem more likely.
Ooh, what is...
Fingers.
Yeah, squeezing.
It's like hitting somebody. I don't think they like it.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Melania's blood. But in what capacity, I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot. Whatever the case, though, I am certain of a kinship between us. There is something I must return to Melania. The will that was once her own. The dignity, the sense of self that allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot, the pride she abandoned, to meet Radan's measure.
Millicent is truly an offshoot of Melania. She is a scarlet bud. For Millicent was found in Aeonia after Melania's bloom. She was the most promising bud of many, in fact. But buds like Millicent aren't Melania's only children. There are also the pests, the kindred of rot, Melania's abandoned children. We always knew these pests were intelligent, but our adventures in the realm of shadow have also revealed that they're crafty and kind, which makes it all the more tragic that we have to kill them on the path to their mother.
Do it.
Here, at the now rotten roots of the halig tree, Melania withers away. Mikola made a choice to divest himself of everything and ascend as a god at any cost. And now, you too make a choice to save Millicent or betray her. You can return to Gowry here for his counsel one last time.
His hands have changed.
I didn't notice you there. Welcome. How may I help you? My apologies, though. You hardly needed to see me like that.
It's okay.
Oh, it's just I realized that I'd soon be saying my goodbyes to Millicent, and
Because we're gonna kill her?
my eyes began to well. She is to meet them very soon, her sisters, and when she does, she'll be defeated, surely, and begin to flower. Which
Unless-
is why, if you happen to be present for the girl's fight with her sisters, I ask that you side with the sisters and kill Millicent.
Ooh.
It must
Whoa.
be done by your hand, no other. Millicent trusts you, rather deeply, in fact.
Use it to betray her.
Sever that trust. Nurtured by betrayal, her bud will flower most vividly. When Melania ascends to godhood, Millicent too shall be reborn as a scarlet Valkyrie. You can't tell me you don't wish to see it. The superior bud that is Millicent becoming the finest of flowers. I beg of you, kill her with your own two hands.
Can you use our blade? Choke her out?
To bloom, as her mother once did, Millicent needs to be pushed to the brink. And If that involves your betrayal, that's all the better, according to Gowry. He trusts in your desire to see Millicent follow her path to its true end, to the same bloom that Melania's path ended with. Perhaps he also trusts that she won't be able to defeat her sisters, even with your help. But he's wrong.
Nice. Hell yeah. Good way to tell a story.
Yeah.
But he's wrong. Nice.
Oh. Hello. Thank you for lending your hand. Without your help, I could not have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been in your debt from beginning to end.
Pretty much.
Thank you. With your help, I was able to live as my own person, if only in passing. But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you, but I took out the needle myself. Tell whoever put you up to this that if I am to flower into something other than myself, I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Please, let me pass alone.
Breaking
The
the cycle.
Scarlet Rot writhes now, worse than ever. Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden, untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm.
Gowry was wrong about everything.
Good.
For Millicent exceeded even her mother's calling. She accepted defeat instead of allowing the Scarlet Rot to thrive in the name of victory. Tragically, she accepts death in the roots of the Halig tree, right before meeting the mother she so desperately wanted to know. But in a way, Millicent knew Melania because she came to know herself. And unlike her mother, she even died with her dignity, and she withered away for her own sake, not for Gowry, an outer god, or an Imperium. Melania, on the other hand, holds to the remains of Miquella's husk before waking from a dream that she's been having for God knows how long.
She need me to piss when she wakes up.
There's still an arm there, so.
You take her arm before she can use it. Now's your chance.
I dreamt for so long. My flesh was dull gold, and my blood rotted. Corpse after corpse left in my wake. As I awaited his return. Heed my words. I am Melania, Blade of Miquella.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And I have never known defeat.
Oh. Shit. Told you should have stolen her arm.
Oh. Did her head just catch on fire?
You think we still have like the flame eyes? Cool. So this is what defeat feels like.
Here at the Halig Tree roots, Melania falls for the second time. This is where it should have ended for you and Radahn. But Melania fights for her brother, Mikola the Kind. In this place, Mikola gave up his own blood to create a haven for the meek and the downtrodden. So it is that his followers' hearts belong to him, and they will give everything for Mikola.
Wait. The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Cool.
You will witness true horror. Now, rot.
Okay.
The Scarlet Rot is not a disease, it's an outer god, and Melania will be its vessel if it's the difference between victory and defeat. Many Tarnished are no different.
Okay. Nice.
With the needle buried in my flesh, I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny. There is something I must return to Melania. The will that was once her own. The dignity. A sense of self that allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot.
Your strength, extraordinary. The mark of a true lord. Oh, dear Mikola. Oh, dearest Mikola. My brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
Left behind after Melania's truest defeat is this, another Scarlet Bloom. The same one that would have enveloped Millicent had you betrayed her. But thanks to us, Millicent was able to remove the needle of her own free will, and unlike Melania, she retained her pride. And this needle has changed. It's no longer broken in half. It no longer even shows signs of having been repaired by Gowry. Instead, it's whole and purified and glistening with dew. This is what Millicent wanted to return to her mother. Proof that pride could be kept in death, even in her, a vessel of an outer god.
Stab the bloom.
Thus, with the return of this needle, so too is Melania's dignity returned.
Thank you. not forget what you did for me.
Perhaps Melania is still conscious in there somehow. In exchange, we receive a different needle. Another of the needles that Mikola crafted to ward away the meddling of outer gods. Perhaps a prototype embedded at an earlier time. Alongside it is an ancient dragon scale, one that can lightly twist time. Many such scales were hoarded in the Halig tree. Perhaps Mikola thought that they could help his sister. Indeed, the scales that twist time are the key to finishing the unalloyed gold needles, and it's possible this was given to you as a clue. The truth is, the only way to remove an outer god's influence is to ward it off before you've even become their vessel. So it is that the unalloyed needle must be inserted somewhere beyond time. For Amazula. A place imbued with the power of the dragons that twist time. A place that the Tarnished could reach, but Mikola and Melania did not. In the end, we too become immune to the influence of the frenzied outer god, thanks to Mikola, to Melania, and Millicent.
Nice. Oh, Dad. Gary. Gary.
Or like Gowry?
Millicent, my daughter, why would you take out the needle? You were so close, so very close.
What you
to
want?
Becoming the fairest of all flowers. Would you disown us too, as your mother did?
I mean, if she has to.
Children of the Scarlet Rot.
Gowry has been an agent of the Rot God the entire time. An envoy. Its spawn.
Millicent. Melania. Do you detest us so utterly?
Good.
Oh, there we go.
We shall meet again, you and I. There are countless bests to choose from. As many times as it takes for you to understand.
They have really pretty eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those are some great fight scenes.
Yes, I agree. Like, even as I was watching them, I'm like, like the choreography in this has gotten better.
Yeah. Just that one sequence where, and you called it out at the time, they cross paths and like you do the finishing pose and you're like, oh, we got her. And then it's our face that just...
Yeah.
Really great choreography, incredible visuals, which is what we've come to expect. I mean, it sounds very ungrateful to say like this is what we come to expect, but like Vaati sets the bar so high with their videos and the artistic creation that goes into them that like, yeah, we expect the visuals now to be spectacular, and they are every single time. And I like the fact that, you know, the reveal of, I know we just watched the video, I want to call her Melisandre, and that's not right. I'm like,
Millicent?
fantasy. Yeah, Millicent.
Or Millicent was the one that was like
Who took
on
out
her
the
side.
alloy needle.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
It was like my brain kept going back and forth between Melisandre and Maleficent. So
Maleficent
Maleficent was it's in the middle.
I was like, it's like a militant Maleficent. So Millicent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tried to remember it as I was watching. So I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, man, I keep forgetting her name. Like as we're watching this, I'm like, I gotta remember it.
So Millicent, I really liked the reveal of her father, which I think was like
adoptive father. Yeah.
Gowry, I think was his name.
I call him Gary.
Yeah.
It's Gary. Although now every time I see someone named Gary, I'm going to call him Gary. Gary.
I liked the reveal of him really working for the Rot the whole time and him being a pest. And so like that was a fantastic reveal. The lead up to that was sort of the like, let her sisters kill her and all. I mean, you're left there like, what in the actual, I'm sorry, what? You want us to let her die? No, you want us to help kill her. Like, this is crazy. And then the reveal and he's a pest and you go, oh, why did I not see that coming? And I like that, you know, Millicent, she had her honor, her dignity and her integrity to the very end. Like, she decided when to take out the needle. She decided when her time had come. And she wasn't going to let anyone else either take that from her or be burdened by, like, facilitating her death. So I respect that.
Yeah, especially since, like, I feel like so many times people, the fear of death is like they want to leave behind like a legacy, right? Like some, a piece of themselves. And so by like, with like the Scarlet Rot, it's like, okay, I could bloom into something else and I could like, you know,
Be the most
continue to,
magnificent flower.
yeah, exactly. But like continue, like, you know, my essence, whatever, can continue to go on. You know, she didn't buy into the religion of Melania and the Scarlet Rot and everything. So yeah, I was really glad that, I mean, it was coming up, I'm like, man, we're going to fight her. I'm like, okay, yep, there goes. We're supposed to kill her. I'd be curious what the ending is if you do decide to fight her and kill her, how that changes things. But I just love the way Vaati built it up in the storytelling and continues you on that path of you thinking like, okay, yep, this is it. Betrayal. We're going to betray her. And this is like, and he goes like, yeah, he thinks that even if you were to team up with Millicent, you would perish or whatever. And he was wrong.
Yes.
but he was wrong. Oh,
So great.
And then to go into the battle, that was my favorite part of this.
Vaati is a fantastic storyteller. I mean, obviously there's a very rich lore in Elden Ring to work with, but I also think that's part of the challenge, right? When the lore is so rich and the story is so dense and there are so many moving pieces to work with, being able to weave a really great story that keeps bringing us at least back time and again to learn more. You got to kind of parse through everything and find like the good bits and the meaty bits and the things that are going to have an audience appeal. And Vaati is an expert at that. Yeah,
agreed. I would have stolen Melania's arm. I mean, she still would have killed me. Even with one arm, she could have killed me. You know, with no arm, she could have been like the knight in Holy Grail, and she like, you know, just hopping on one leg, and she still would have killed me. But I would at least, you know, give myself a chance. Take that arm, and run. Whoop, 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 whoop. Running away.
Is that the sound effect that happens when you run?
Yep. So that's what I do when I run away.
Okay. It did kind of feel like as Melania was waking up and we just like left the arm there for her. We're sort of like, I mean, I guess we just really want that challenge.
Yep.
Because otherwise there was a golden opportunity to like put her at a disadvantage.
Cool ass fight though. And like, as it seems to be the trend with boss battles, it's not just one boss battle. Then the boss has to transform into something else and do another big boss battle.
Yep. This is true.
But the transformation was cool.
It really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of sad. Hype yourself up. I've never been defeated. And you get defeated twice in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, I mean, like, again, the visual stunning element of it, like her with sort of like, I don't know, like the butterflies forming wings to like show her as, I don't know, like the queen of the red rot or whatever.
Scarlet Rot.
Yeah, whatever the official title would be. But like, I think we're used to our villains looking terrifying and imposing. I mean, I sort of think of like Lilith from Diablo, right? Like that's what we expect. And so there's something strangely gorgeous about her in the form of the Scarlet Rot that was sort of like a weird thing as an audience member to see, because you're like, we have to destroy her, but this is also like oddly beautiful and artistic.
Let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And if you want all of our Elden Ring reactions, check out the playlist. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching our reaction for Elden Ring, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.